Yeah, let's get right into it. So we're gonna talk about Kendrick Lamar. Let's get into that. Have you guys heard about him? He made history.
Yes.
He did.
Yeah, he won. He is the first rapper to win the Pulitzer Prize for music. He won it on Monday. He was honored with it. And he's the first non-classical or jazz artist to win the prestigious prize.
All right.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome.
The
He's
second. I was the first.
right. You said you were the first. Yeah, he's doing his thing. And if you guys haven't noticed, it's 2 years after the death of Prince. And they're still trying to figure out what's going on with his estate. I believe the estate is like $200 million estate. They're not sure what to do with the money. And he never wrote a will. So he does have 6 biological siblings, and his estate is still up in the air.
Right now, they say the attorneys are eating into his estate.
I'm sure they are. They're gonna have it hung up in court for many years. Yep. So far, none of his siblings have seen not one dime of Prince's money, and the lawyers so far have collected $5.9 million. So yeah, and expenses and fees. Yeah.
But he probably didn't want them to get nothing. Did y'all think about that? Because where was they when he was alive?
That's still your seed. So it's better your seed get it than, because he don't know those lawyers, and they sure they'll get it.
And then that's just the lawyers' fees. They've taken $5.9 million. I can just imagine what the IRS probably has taken that we are unaware of. What that number might look like. So best of luck with that situation there. How do you guys think that's going to end out?
Well, they already making money off of him, though. The sister, like the quote-unquote druggy sister.
Okay.
Like, she popped up after he passed, and he didn't have nothing to do with them. He didn't want nothing to do with them. Yeah.
Okay, so this past weekend was Coachella, and Beyonce performed. And did she give a performance? She tributed HBCU colleges, and she came out with a full band, the drum line, the Majorette girls. They put on a performance. It was phenomenal. Yeah, I think that, in my opinion, probably the best Coachella performance so far.
B, huh?
Yeah.
I didn't get to see it. What did she do? Did she shake it up?
Yeah, she gave it all of Sasha Fierce was in the building. All of Sasha Fierce.
I seen the little meme. Is that what it's called? Or the emoji thingy?
A meme.
I saw that. Where she kind of like went across the stage or whatever in front of like 3 or 4 people. Was that from that performance?
Did she have on like Daisy Duke shorts?
Most likely.
Some glittery boots?
I mean, that's like regular attire for her.
No, I think it's a leotard. That's her regular attire.
No, she's brilliant at what she does. Definitely that.
Definitely rings the alarm.
Paying attention to social media yesterday, and there's this question going around: who is the greater performer, Beyonce or Michael Jackson? And you all need to stop that.
I agree. That's what I said too.
That's a slap in the face to Michael Jackson. You need to stop that. Don't even take that another step further. Don't ever ask that question again.
I think they're both great. So why do we have to pick one?
You know what? They're both great, but LeBron James will never be Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
There's every time somebody throws their hands twice now, the next Muhammad Ali, no, there ain't gonna be another Muhammad Ali. Stop doing that. We need to stop doing that. Muhammad is Muhammad. Bob Marley is Bob Marley. Ain't never be another Bob Marley.
Stop comparing.
I don't care.
Compare.
Leave it alone. Leave it alone.
That's what I agree.
The Master Rasta is the Master Rasta. I don't care who come along. Bougie might be great, but he ain't no Bob Marley.
Never will be.
All right. So they need to stop that.
So best performer alive today. Who would you guys say?
Me? You ain't never seen me?
Yeah. The wellness
wonder. Watch out now.
The wellness wonder.
Oh, you see, you in the wrong place to see me perform.
Come on, who you say, John?
You may have to see him at the May 19th. Check them out May 19th.
I mean, when you say best performer,
Live performance.
that's another thing.
That was a part of the debate.
You say best performer, Beyonce's over there. You have, and we need to stop that. America is not the world. We have Machel Montano, she can't touch him. Then you have the Jamaican crew, and she can't touch them. So you have
Great.
You have greats, and let's just enjoy them and be happy they are here, and we get to see it. We get to see it. I looked at the Coachella thing, I was like, well, this little girl is something else right here, Miss Beyonce. And I ain't even a fan, but you have to appreciate what you see.
Yes.
That is true. That is true.
So we need to stop who's the greatest and who's the best, and never happens.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't think we should compare.
Mm-mm.
Michael Jackson is great, period. Beyonce is great,
Great,
period.
period.
Not which one is better.
And
They're both great.
There's nobody's better. Wolfgang Puck can cook. Take him to Trinidad, put him in my mama's kitchen to cook dumpling and crab. She will wipe the floor with him. Yeah, so there's no comparison with these things. Who is the greatest? We don't have a time machine to leave it alone. It's beautiful. Just be happy that you are here and get to, man, I'm just happy to be here. Get to see Ice do his thing.
Exactly.
Ain't nobody like the Ice Man.
Glad to see you.
Okay, other news. There were black men arrested for no reason at a Philadelphia Starbucks. They were there waiting to meet with a CEO. Waiting to meet someone, and the two black men were just sitting there waiting, and they were approached by the manager and asked if they were going to order. They said they were waiting. I understand one of them went to the restroom, and they were upset about them. They had an issue with him going to the restroom because he wasn't a paying customer, because he didn't actually purchase anything. The police were called, and by the time the police arrived, they were already being arrested, and the person who they were waiting for entered into Starbucks and was trying to get a better understanding of for what reason were they being arrested. And there really isn't any answer from Starbucks so far, but the men are going to probably pursue a lawsuit, and it is
Easy.
Definitely racially motivated.
Easy. That's easy money.
It is definitely easy money.
The manager who called has now been fired, and there's another incident has now surfaced where they refused a black guy the code to use the bathroom at a Starbucks, and they gave, because he wasn't a paying customer, and he approached the bathroom, saw a white guy coming out, and they have an exchange to realize that the white guy's not a paying customer either, but he can get the code. And we need to stop saying two black guys were arrested for no reason. Yeah, because they're black. Come on now, we've been here long enough. Driving while black, walking while black.
They were sitting in Starbucks while
looking while black, breathing while black, whatever it is. We're black. That's an arrestable offense.
Just being black.
in America.
That's an arrestable offense.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah. Yep. Have you had any experiences like that?
Yes.
Yes.
I've had so many bad experiences with police here, especially in Rouge. This is the city I live in, so. And I remember one night I was at Prime, so a couple years ago, and my car was stolen.
Oh, wow.
And I got it back. But by the time I got it back, it was around Derby time, so it had passed my birthday to renew the tax. And when I was driving down, and I know pulling the tags, pulling over for expired tax, I know that's something. But when I got pulled over, I explained to them. I said, hey, my car got stolen, and I just got it back. Like I just got it back the day before the Derby, so I didn't have time to go to the. But my insurance and everything was there, and I showed it to him that my insurance and everything, everything. And I said you can run the plates and stuff, I just got it back, and it didn't matter. It took 3, 4, 5 of them in different cars, telling me to get out of the car. I was like, fuck, expired tags, like, was crazy. That was the worst experience I've ever had. 4 police officers pulled me over for no reason. Another time too, they pulled me over and asked me where I was going. No, I have. My tax was good, my insurance was good, and everything was good. And he asked me where I was going, and I was like, man, I'm over 30 years old. You can't ask me where I'm going.
That's my problem. That's what
I'm a grown
why you
man.
asking me where am I going?
Yeah, that's
that
Ain't got
gets
nothing
me
to
every
do with
time,
nothing.
man.
Ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
Crazy.
Yeah. Yep. So that is an unfortunate epidemic that's going on right now with blacks in America, and it's not going to stop until these they understand that you just can't get away with it. You're going to get butt sued.
This is my thing, though. I think they're using the same principles from way back in the slavery days right now. And the time changed and everything changed. But the police officers are being trained the same, and they're doing the same things.
The Willie Lynch theory?
It is Donald Trump's main purpose for being in the White House is to remind America and the rest of the world that nothing has changed. I came here 21 years ago, and I tell people, I says, man, this place is now we have black this, we have black that. I says, you don't realize that means nothing. You elevate the token black here and there. I says, but look at our people as a whole. Where are they? And they have not progressed any. They have not progressed any. You look at a black neighborhood. If I take you, there's a Chinatown everywhere. If I take you to a Jewish neighborhood, you have Jewish schools, Jewish shops, Jewish bakeries. I take you to an Indian neighborhood, they have Indian this. The only thing that represents or lets you know you're in a black neighborhood is poverty. But the Chinese man owns the laundromat, this one is, we don't own the shops, we don't own the schools, we don't, okay.
I think the liquor stores you home.
Right, so the
stations, yeah.
only thing that signifies it's a black area
It's the
is
people.
poverty, people and poverty. But we don't own anything, so we have not progressed anywhere. And now that the racist in chief is sitting where he is, they feel emboldened. We've never seen it like this before. But they feel, they can come out from under the rock that they were under because, hey.
He's been spewing it all over the internet, saying what he wants to say. Yeah.
So we're in for, America's in for a tough time. If they're not careful, we're going back to a civil war.
I've been saying that.
We're gonna go
I've
back
been
to
saying
civil war.
it like a year or two ago. I was saying it's building up.
Yeah, because we're not going to sit back and take it for much longer. And it's going to be an interesting war.
My thing is,
Go ahead.
Do you think the men now are as strong as the men back in the day? Like, do you think that would actually fight for what we believe in?
The beauty of the war that's about to come is not even so much us, it's our allies. See these crazy little things you call millennials? After Parkland, you see them, they walk onto DC and they telling you, we're gonna vote you out.
That
We
is
gonna
true.
do this.
That is true.
And millennials are beautiful.
Yes.
We fed millennials a lot of bullshit, but they believed it. You can be anything you want to be. They believe it. You can do anything you want to do.
That is true.
Well, now they believe it, and they're coming out there. They want to be anything they want to be. Gay, straight,
Whatever.
no gender. Where you told us that, and now we're holding your hand to the fire. You said we could, and you can't come tell us now that we can't, and they're not taking it.
No.
So it's not even so much us.
That is true.
They getting out there and standing up, and they are the ones that would take a bullet and just keep walking forward, and somebody else take a bullet, and they don't even realize they're getting shot.
They'll march for anything.
There's some.
That is true.
Millennials are beautiful, but they have a heart and a spirit
That is true.
that revolution can breathe on. They're amazing. They will change this.
Oh yeah. I mean, young people have always been a part of the movement. When I look at some of the civil rights era movements, it was young people, 13, 14, 15, 16-year-old young men and boys and women that were out there standing up for their rights. So, yeah, I can see it starting with the young people regarding change. I think they're going to be the ones that actually get it accomplished.
That is true.
And they have the power too. They just got to make sure they go and vote. I understand May the 22nd or 23rd is the last day to register to vote. So you guys, if you have not already registered, make sure you do what you need to do and get registered so that we can make sure it counts this November.
What you need to do then, take auntie down there, take granny down there, take everybody down there. It's not just you. Remember those who can't go for themselves or don't, aren't cognizant enough. Take them down there, take your auntie down there. Take your little cousin that's on drugs, take him too. I'd take him, just call me.
For sure. Alright, so let's get into a commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to have a little conversation with Joe here about his book.
No Love.
No Love. It's a true story. Alright, y'all listening to IC Show with DJ Ice and TNB, 97thebeatfm.com.
3.
Alright, and we're back with the IC Show. We're sitting here with Arthur Joseph Clarke. He wrote No Love. It's a true story. How you doing, Joe? Thank you for being on the show. So I see you are from Jamaica. I love the accent. It's so good to see you here because I've known you for some time now, but I did not know that you were a writer.
It's a hidden talent.
It's a hidden talent.
I'm bringing it to the world now. So.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, like, when did you know that you wanted to start writing?
I would say about 10 years ago. But I noticed that the love for writing more than 25 years ago. Like, growing up as a kid in Jamaica, that was what I used to do. I remember one time I skipped school, and I didn't want my mom to know that I skipped school. So, I used to, and I put it in a book where I used to make my own stories up. Just trying to, let her see that I went to school. So I would use my imagination and write stories and all that stuff. And she would believe. So
you've always had a vivid imagination.
Yes, ma'am.
And love for writing.
And photographic memory. I never forget nothing.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about the book.
Well, that book is mostly about pain and stuff that kids go through when they're not protected, right? So I've had a lot of bad experiences as a kid growing up. And it affected the way I conduct myself and act as a man. So at one point in life, I was experiencing, in my adult life, I was experiencing a lot of hurt. So I just decided to put it all in a book.
Awesome. So what type of pain did you experience? What were some of the hardships or the trials and tribulations growing up in Jamaica? Is this more
Yes, ma'am.
a story of your life in Jamaica?
Yeah, all of that one is in Jamaica. The second one is in America.
Okay, so it's gonna have a sequel.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, a follow up.
Yeah, and that one is gonna be released on August 31st.
Okay, of this year.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
No.
And that's gonna follow your life now in America?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So it'll pick up from where that book left off, straight up to.
So this covers your life from like what age to what?
From 4 to 23.
4 to 23.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All
So
right.
I've experienced, answering your question, I've experienced, watching my mom, go through abuse, my father, my stepdad, I've been through abuse, physical, mental, and sexual. I've watched my sister, being abused. My son's mom, I've been cheated on, like almost every relationship that I've had until that point. So I spoke about all the stuff from my perspective of what has been done to me and the person he created me to be. Now the next book will be my reaction to from growing up like that, how I treat people, and and I really did a lot of bad stuff, So that's what the next book is about.
The bad stuff you did?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh.
That book is the bad stuff that was done to me.
Okay, so because it's like hurt people.
Yes, ma'am.
Almost kind of like that.
Yes, ma'am.
Man, so how do you feel like your story, from your younger years, has it made you a better person? How's it affected you today?
In some areas, I think it made me a more protective dad. It made me want to love more because I've never seen it, I've never experienced it truly. So I try, to love people as much as I can. If it doesn't work sometimes, so, but I really do. I give my heart. If I'm trying to be with someone, I try to give my heart. Because I wanted to love someone the way my mom should have been loved. Because I used to watch TV, and that's where I used to get my idea for what a relationship should be like. Because I've never really seen it personally. So like the shows that like Bill Cosby, those are the type of stuff that I wanted. I wanted to come home from work, cook, help my wife cook dinner, and raise the kids, go to practices and games on the weekends. That's what I want. I didn't want the single father life and all that stuff. Because I know that's where the black family is broken. And I've experienced it firsthand. So I wanted to do something. So that life, I guess really changed my the way I think about how I want my life to be.
And how has it also affected you as a father? You said you have a son.
Yeah, 13-year-old.
He's 13. You don't even look like you have a child old enough to be 13.
I know, he's so big too. He's bigger than I am. You play basketball. No, I know what could happen because in the book I talk about being molested, and it was at a very young age. I was about seven years old. Now, I was afraid to tell, because when I say to in the book when I say to my grandma, she didn't believe. So I was afraid to tell my mom. My mom wasn't there. My mom left us, with her grandma and stuff. So I was afraid to tell my mom because I feared that if I told my mom, she'd have done the same thing my grandma would have done. So that's and that's a psychological thing where I feel like, I don't want my son to go through that. I don't want my son to something for him to happen to him, and he can't, say to me.
Confide.
Exactly. So I try to build a different relationship with my son. I try to. Like a lot of people haven't seen my son because I protect him so much. Like, I don't bring him around people that date unless it's real, for something really serious where I trust him. That's the only time you'll see my son. You will hear about him, but you won't see him. Mm-hmm. Because, and he's 13 now and I still feel that way. Like, I still feel like, no.
No. So, are you married? Are you single?
Yes.
Ladies want to know.
For now.
For now. You're looking for a wife?
Yes.
You and Jonathan.
I am 34. I spoke to this guy one time, and I strongly agree with him. He told me, he was about 75 years old. He told me that a man only have 70 good years of his life. Now, I am 35 years old, and I've done a lot of stuff. I've been to Vegas. I've done a lot of stuff. I've traveled, and I actually want to be in a relationship where I'm celebrating 40, 50 years together. And if I'm 35 right now, I think it's time.
Okay.
There's nothing on here.
Is there a special lady in mind? No.
I have something in my mind what I want.
You know what you want in her, but you haven't found.
I haven't found it yet.
Getting back to the book, how do you, or are you hoping that it helps? Because I know, like you're talking about molestation, especially male on male. It's not just Jamaica, the Caribbean, that is taboo. For you to even mention that happened to you, oh hell no.
Yes, and that was one of the, I spoke about it in the book, that was one of the reasons why I didn't say anything to my mom either. Because it in Jamaica, it was, at that time, it was so homophobic where if something had happened like that, you'd be, beaten or,
they take it out on the victim.
Oh wow.
They take it out on the victim.
It's that serious. So, I remember when I was in my teenage years, I was like, what happened? Like, did I send this guy some signal or whatever? And, so I started, like, him just going out and having sex with a bunch of different females, like, because I didn't want to seem as if, you get what I'm saying, I was that type of person. So, I tried to hide that stuff into girls. Like, I would have, like, 3,
each day.
It was just, it was bad.
Bang, bang, bang.
He said 3 or 4 women in a day.
Yeah, I spoke about it in the book. Like,
I
really put
Is that why they
everything.
got your mouth covered right there? Yeah, the tear coming down your eye on the cover.
it's almost like the young woman that gets abused, raped, and she has a shower 6, 7, 8 times trying to wash it off.
Oh yes,
Okay, that's where he is.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
Because it is such a stigma attached to it, especially female on female is not that bad, but male on male homosexuality in the Caribbean, they just, in Trinidad, they just gave rights to the LGBT community, and they're about to sink the whole island for that crap. They just believe like these people aren't even people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he is immersing himself in those women is like the girl that goes and showers 3, 4, 5, 6 times a day trying to wash it off because he doesn't want that stigma like he's gay. I ain't gay. Why did he touch me like that?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Man.
And I couldn't protect myself. You know, he's a big guy. I was 7 years old, and that's what the picture of the book. You know, instead of like, because when I was writing, you know, I started thinking like, you know, I remember it vividly. You know, and that's when I reached out to the, you know, my book cover designer. I was like, hey, this is exactly what I want. This is exactly what happened to me, and you know, she delivered.
I mean, the picture alone is powerful.
Exactly. It's exactly. If you read the book, the picture is exactly what happened in the book.
So how instrumental was your grandma in your life growing up as well? Because I know you mentioned her and your mom.
Yeah, my grandma scared the crap out of me. I tell you, when my mom, because what had happened was, my dad and my mom had a fight, a really big fight, where, you know, my dad cut my mom in her face because she was trying to break up with him and he wasn't having it. So, you know, when he did that, you know, the household broke up. Now, men, from my experience, from what I see, they tend to, when they break up with the mother, don't want to take care of the kid, so they're trying to manipulate the relationship with the mom, you know, so they're not really paying attention to the kid. So now, so that's what happened. My mom had to work. Now, when she left, she had to, it was about 3 or 4 of us at the time, and she needed somebody to take care of us, and that's where she left us with our grandma. And my dad, I guess he didn't care. Now, that's where I was left open to all the abuse, you know, because even though I was my grandma's grandkid, I still wasn't her child. So I wasn't the favorite to protect, you know. It was the person who abused me that was her last child. I'm guessing that's the child she loved the most, because even when I said what I said to her, you know, she didn't believe, you know. And so,
An uncle?
yeah. So that's why I said the prayers, the people, yeah.
Sometimes the monsters are the ones that are supposed to love you.
Yes, because I'm family. You know, I'm with family. I'm not supposed to be exposed to that type of stuff. You know, in a perfect world. Yeah.
So this quote: "Please don't tell anyone. I'll give you 2 coconuts if you don't."
Yes, that's what he said to me after what happened. Because I was crying my eyes out, and I was like, I'm telling grandma, like this. You know, I was running, but you know, I was 7 years old, so he could catch me. But so by the time I get to my grandma, you know, he was already there explaining himself, you know, saying I'm lying and stuff. So my grandma automatically believed him. I'm 7 years old. Why would I need to be lying on a grown man? You know, about something so serious. You know, it still didn't make any sense.
Have you been able today to say something to your mom or grandmother?
I said something to my mom when I was about 25 years old. That's when I actually
Opened up.
Yeah, I kept it locked in for so many years, and I was talking to my mom. I was like, hey, you know, and she started crying because she didn't know, you know. And I was like, and in the book I used to say, like, I used to give my mom this look every time she would come and visit. I used to give her this look, like I wanted her to see the pain in my eyes, you know, but she couldn't. So, you know, it made me look deeper when it comes on to my son too. Like I mean, every time I see that kid and every time we talk, you know, I try to read his body language, or, you know, because I really don't want my son or any other kid in this world to experience what I experienced.
And your relationship with your uncle today are
Non-existent.
non-existent.
A relationship with my grandma is non-existent. A relationship with the entire side of family is non-existent. And I know, you know, I'm gonna have to, you know, be able to heal personally to have a, you know, a hope in, because I don't feel like, you know, other than, I don't feel like that, you know, that they're malicious people. You know, I feel like, because there's good in everybody. You know, so I feel like there's good there, but you know, it's just the damage that they caused to me. You know, it's something it's gonna take me a lot of time or a lot of work to get past. You know?
You speak also about you almost lost your life.
Yes. I was chasing this girl. It was my first girlfriend. You know, she broke up with me and I wanted her back. You know, my life was empty. I didn't have anything to love. You know, and I wanted her back. So I went to her neighborhood, you know, trying to war and stuff, and you know, there was the power went out, and these guys, you know, messed with this guy. He was a little mentally insane, and there was no power, so the entire community was dark, and they messed with him, and he was retaliating. So he had a machete in his hand, and he was walking around in the community looking for them. Now me walking from my community to her community, going to see her, he saw me and thought I was one of those guys, and he used his machete and, you know, swung in the dark, and you know, almost took my arm off. You know.
Ooh, wow.
There was blood everywhere. There's a metal inside my arm right now, and the doctor used like stuff to, you know, connect the veins and all that stuff, because you know, it was so bad. I was unconscious for like 2 days. I was in the hospital for almost 2 months.
So how did you get to America?
Well, that American story is gonna be in the next.
In the next one, okay.
There's so much stuff that my life it's a lot. It's a lot of stuff. You know, a lot of people see me, you know, smiling and, you know, laughing, because I try to make the best of every situation. But it's a lot of stuff that, you know, that happened and, you know, made me into the person I am today.
Okay. So what are some other things that you are working on in your life as well?
Yeah, trying to, you know, be a better parent, you know, because there's always room for improvement, you know, and you know, trying to get my second book finished, because I try to write as much every day, because my philosophy is, if I can give 10 hours to an employer, I should be able to give myself 2 hours, you know, to work on my dream. Because if you go to work every day, that's fulfilling your employer's dream.
All right.
You know,
So I know that you also give back your time as well, working with youth.
Yes, I'm definitely trying to. I'm trying to my church and stuff. You know, I'm trying to, you know, do youth programs there and all that stuff. And for this too, you know, it all depends on how far the book goes. I'm trying to start a foundation, you know, where I can actually, you know, help, you know, kids, because I know this stuff happens a lot. You know, because since the book came out, I've had so many people who reached out to me, like telling me that, and stories like, whoa, I'll be like, you know, sometimes I feel sorry for myself, but when people tell me the stuff that they've been through, you know, and you know how, you know, people try to sweep it under the rug and all that stuff, you know, parents didn't listen, or I was like, oh my God, you know, there's so many people out there hurting right now. You know, I'm looking at social media sometimes and you see people, you know, acting reckless, and you be like, you know, what's up with them? You know that
They're crying out for help.
They're crying out for help, you know. And I would like to have, you know, discreetly or not, you know, I would like to be able to help people, you know, like, you know, if psychiatrists, whatever is needed to, you know, to make sure, you know, they're stable mentally and emotionally, you know, because your life, you know, if you're not stable emotionally and mentally, it's like a loaded gun.
Cancer just eat at you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. So how can people buy a copy of your book?
Yes. No, it's available on Amazon and Kindle.
Okay.
And I'm also having a book signing next Wednesday, in April 25th, at Virtue Venue,
Okay.
from 7 p.m. until 11 p.m.
Awesome. This is Joseph Clarke. No Love, a True Story.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for having me.
All right. So we're going to go on a commercial break, and we'll come back. We'll have Jonathan in his wellness tip of the week. This is the IC Show. This is your girl Tia B and DJ Ice. Let's go.